And last also, what is your advice to the teeming population waiting to vote 2023?
My advice for them, they should not allow themselves to fast for another 4 years. This their finger determine their future. They can decide to sell their finger for 1,000, 210, even if it is 100,000. But they can be rest assured they will fast for another 4 years. Except something happened, there will be by-election in their areas. Now, if the youths are complaining about bad governance in Nigeria, and the youths are the determinant of who will become the president in Nigeria by statistics in INEC, do I need to go and tell them don't sell your votes? They are the victims of the system right now. No school for them, no housing for them, no allowances for the elderly. There's no any provision for people that are incapacitated. Then how do you expect to have peace? Now the youth have a responsibility to ensure that they accommodate the pains, the frustrations, and they join the queue to cast their votes. And they should stand within the parameter approved by INEC to make sure they can vote. But with the latest technology, the bimodal system of INEC, then you don't need to wait because it can transmit directly. And then it captured your fingerprint or visual. So there's no way you can rig it. It's a very sophisticated technology. It's good for the country. It will strengthen our democratic institutions. And once the president signed the new electoral act into law, it will give INEC a lot of powers to take care of some of these issues, the challenges that is challenging the political environment, that is threatening 2023 elections. It's going to take care of a lot of issues. Unless all of us, me and you, that have traveled around the world and we have seen how society is being governed. We have seen a first-class hospitals in the world, a first-class educational system in the world, a first-class technologically based driven economy in the world. And most of those that are driving it, Nigerians, are there. It's not as if there's zero experience on how to do it. What are you doing to motivate the Nigerians expatriates outside and bring them home? What does it take for Nigeria to pay them even better than they are being paid outside? Was it that the country is wretched, is broke? The answer is no. Nigeria is the most richest country on earth. Our economy is still virgin, is untapped. Every state of the federation, all the states can take care of their bills. All you need is to structure critical sectors of the economy and allow the state to exploit what they have. And then you create a percentage that is due for the federal government, and then how they can run their states, pay their bills, stabilize the state, create employment. And so in the absence of this, there's no way you can have the kind of confidence you are looking forward, the kind of massive voting you can have. Somebody on the day of election, you are declaring national holiday, the federal government will lose the entire revenue of that day to conduct election, and somebody have no food to eat, and you expect them to go out and join the queue for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours, or maybe the system have issues, he need to wait or go and come back. So the forces that are frustrating citizens to participate is so huge, except we have leaders that believe that the nation needs to move on. Nobody created land. We were all born on a land. Nobody created tribe. Nobody created religion. God did not console me when I came out of a Fulani home. God did not console you when you came out of your tribe and the community where you were born. You did not negotiate with God. Your parents did not negotiate with God. So there are things that are beyond what anybody can do. People must learn how to concede to power, to issues of nature, issues of God, to God. You are killing someone because he doesn't belong to your tribe. You hate him, maybe he doesn't belong to your religion, or he doesn't belong to your ethnic base. You discriminate against him as a governor because he's a minority, or is the minority of minority. And then we have a history that this country have produced minority of minority as the president of Nigeria. The country have produced a majority tribe as president. The country have produced a middle as president of Nigeria. So there's no particular minority or majority that have not governed Nigeria. And part of the predicament that we are having today that is challenging our future, which I fought in 1999, I went to court, is this issue of zoning. Once you create zoning, you have created room for incompetence. You have created room for gangsters to organize and take over a system because maybe they have resources to spend, hijack the system. But if you take it out, like what the Constitution of the Supreme Court have said is segregation, zoning is segregation, then you have created room for competent person to come in, go to every Nigerian, showcase his capacities, what he wants to do to transform the country. So, zoning have done so much damage to Nigeria. Politicians have created so much problem in this country. Politicians are responsible for all these issues that we are having. That is the truth. But because the career politicians were edged out, non-career politicians have hijacked the system. All those that are at the various level of governance, they were not career politicians. I'm sure you can remember the ministers of Shagari regime, even if they woke you up from sleep. I'm sure now, if they woke you from the sleep and say name all the Buhari ministers, you may not name them. But you remember big names, former governors during Shagari regime, the lack of Rimi, Chimoboto, Latif Jakande, mention them. Their names are still written in gold. But today, the current government that we are, in fact, if you can remember ministers that have excelled so well during Obasanjo's regime, you find out they are very, very few. Difficult for you to remember. The same thing under Jonathan regime. The same thing under Jonathan Yaradua regime. Then why are we getting it wrong? Do we need an interpreter as a nation? That we are not doing the right thing? We are not connecting with the citizens? Do we need to bring a foreigner to tell us that our capacity to communicate and connect with the citizen is very poor? Do we need a jam to tell us that we have failed as a nation in terms of carrying the citizens along? How do you explain all this? So it's left for the youth to talk to themselves just the way we are talking, to face reality squarely, to deal with issues of agitations, to stabilize the country. During Shagari, there was utilization of power across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Do you have utilization of power today?
It's been an educating period with Alhaji Shehu Musa Gabam, the National Secretary of Social Democratic Party. It's been a wonderful afternoon, and we believe Nigerians will always come to you to ask you for your honest assessment and candid opinion on national issues. This is Voicetv Nigeria, and no doubt I have been educated and I'm still getting more questions and answers from what he has put out today. Please join Voicetv Nigeria, subscribe and click on the like buttons for times like this.